welcome. My name is Yo Dali, like a painter Dali, but Yo Dali. And originally I'm from Colombia, but I live in London, and I created my own Fintech a couple of years ago. And I came to tell you a little bit about the company, but also about the opportunities that I've seen here in Kyrgyzstan, and also if you want to even create your own company in financial services, how can you do it? So let's start with a little bit of visualization exercise. I want everybody to close your eyes, okay? Work with me. Close your eyes, okay? This is imagination moment. What was the last thing you paid? Just don't tell me, just think about it. Did you pay for coffee, tea, pay for beauty? What did you pay for? Just think about it. Think how much money was that? Okay, you know. Now think what was the environmental impact of that purchase? It's super difficult to think. Open your eyes. So that's why I created the company called Eco2 Wallet, because people should know not only what things are cost in monetary value, but the environmental impact that each one of those purchases are doing to the environment. So that was the first way of thinking. What if I can give the people the possibility of seeing things that they cannot see, invisible things, right? Money, we see it because sometimes it's in cash, but the environmental impact around is a bit invisible. So I wanted to do that. And I said, okay, why don't we plant trees to compensate for the carbon footprint of that specific purchase? Let's say you had a shawarma, but yet the shawarma had some environmental impact. You're not going to go and do something about it, but let me, through financial services and technology, let me plant a tree for you so you don't have to do it. So he's trying to create a more sustainable approach toward purchasing. And one of the things we said is, and this was a really good learning for me, people don't care about the environment. We love Earth, and we want the Earth to continue, but generally we don't really have this je ne sais quoi to continue to actually help and fight for the environment. So I said, let's make a game. And we created a game where inside of your banking app, let's call it a Pokemon, okay? This Pokemon gets really happy if you make a sustainable purchase, or gets a little bit sad if you make an unsustainable purchase. So let's say that you, in this example, you had to fly somewhere, and that's not very environmentally conscious, but let's say that you took some sort of public transport, and that makes you happy. So it helps to the person to make sustainable purchases in a more accessible way. And it works, gamification works. Now, the opportunity that we have is around 15 million card users, especially in Sweden and Nordics, where we are present at the moment. And one of the things that we said is like, look, let's target the people, like us, the ones that are making the purchases every day, that we're paying for electricity, that we're paying for everything. And also let's target the companies, because the companies as well, if for the people even working for HITEX or even for your own company, you have expenses that the company is paying that you are doing. You are going maybe to this conference because your company told you so. So the expenses are, the environmental impact is coming from that company. So you have to give tools as well for the people and for the companies as well. Currently we are a Visa company, so we provide debit cards for Visa, and we have a license that allows to have Euro accounts. Of course, in the future, we can open accounts in many places, but we need you to help me do that. One of the things that we said is, I think we were the only ones starting, and we were looking into it, and we said, you know what, we're not the only ones. There are other companies trying to be sustainable, and I think that's a good thing. If because your idea, you're trying to be the only one doing this, it doesn't validate the purpose of your company, so you need to have competitors, and you need to be better than your competitors. And the way that we differentiated with them is because they say, let's make the game. Let's have real trees planted for every purchase that you have. And let's have market coverage of the euros that is going to give me 28 countries instead of only one country. So it definitely opens the doors. This is the team that we have at the moment, so we're very proud of our female team. And when we started originally, we were saying, how can we be more accessible to people? Because one of the challenges we have is the trees we have are in the Amazon. But how often do you go to the Amazon? It's not like you go for the weekend or anything. So what we're trying to say is, how can we bring and make projects closer to people? So that's going to be one of our future programs. And bring solutions that are closer to the people that are going to help them. So this is my company. I just wanted to show you briefly what it was. And here, when I was invited for this event, I was thinking the potential is huge. But one of the main challenges that I see is that there is no trust. There is no trust in financial services, and there is no trust in banking services. And probably I want to see some hands on how many people actually receive their money on their salary in a digital way. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 people receive your salary on a digital way. The rest is cash. Imagine if I'm going to talk to you about innovation in technology, I have to first talk about trust in the banking system. And this is one of the main difficulties that you have, because I can tell you, I can change the world if you pay with my debit card. But the first thing you're going to say is, well, I don't even want a bank. What's the purpose of me having to give my money away? Maybe they can plant a tree, but let me just plant a tree with my own cash. So I think there is an exercise of trust that needs to happen first as a society, then second to actually go and just going and do a lot of banking and things. The word Fintech, for those who don't know, they're financial technology, so anything that is not necessarily a high street bank, okay? So technologies that can help you to develop solutions towards the financial services. Now, who has a phone? Raised hands. Who has a phone? Who has more than one phone? You see the difference? People are more willing to trust in technology on your personal phone than to trust in a bank. So automatically you're saying, I want actually my own phone on a personal way to manage my own money. So what we need to do is a transition between hard cash into a phone, a personalized experience where I can manage my own money in my own ways. When I was looking at the statistics, I was noticed that there is like around 30 banks here in Iraq, and there's around like maybe 15 in Kurdistan, and there is around 7 fintechs. But if you think about it, there is more people having phones and less people having banks. So the number in fintech should be much higher than the traditional one in banking. So there is definitely a clear opportunity there. The second one is, when you go and you buy anything, groceries, you don't tend to go to a website where you have to pay there with your card. You actually say, can we meet in cash? Because I trust better if I pay you in cash. So there should be some sort of trust platform where say, it's okay if you don't pay me in cash. In fact, if you don't pay me in cash, I will pay you more for something, okay? So there is just different ways of building the trust into the financial technology services that are not necessarily related to banking. One of the advantages, I think, for financial technologies, or for any of you who are maybe planning to create your own company, is joint venture, okay? Joint venture is make friends, and make friends for companies that they already know what they've been doing, and you have to make it your own. A really good example for economy growth is here in your neighbors, in our Saudi Aramco, their joint venture that they have was with an American company. And a lot of small, not small bank, a lot of banks, what they're trying to do is to make themselves more international through joint ventures with international companies. But one of the good things about technology is that you don't necessarily have to look for the guy that knows, because you can Google it almost and see if you can find that friend that knows, that can help you to develop your own financial company. But we'll talk about this in a moment. traditionally banking requires some sort of income, right? So if I'm going to build a bank, I will take a little bit of money from you to keep money in my bank, right? And I think there should be model ways, something called profit sharing schemes. And the profit sharing schemes, they should have an innovation on that. What does it mean? If I'm a bank and you put your salary with me, I'm going to take a little bit of the profit that I will be making instead of investing in buildings here in Erbil, rather than giving to your own account as a monthly payment fee. And I think that has to be an innovation related to that. Now, the answer is not let's fight cash. In fact, let's love cash. But let's find ways where the digital money is more valuable than the cash, and it creates more trustworthy systems for economies around. I was walking last night just around where I'm staying, and I realized the amount of coffee shops and beauty places that you have. And none of them receives a card payment. And I was thinking, what if you generate innovation directly from the majority of the business? So maybe the innovation shouldn't come from us, from the people. It should come from what exists the most, what you have the most. So let's make a targeting innovation for digital payments for all the coffee shops across Erbil, or all the beauty parlors. I want all the women that they are doing their nails and their beautiful hairs, that they're actually being paid. Maybe it's even cheaper if you pay through a digital solution than if you're paying with cash, right? And that creates, because you need to create innovation from where people are spending the money, not in things that you buy once, like a car, maybe you buy it once every 2 years. So it has to be a constant personal relationship with the cash. Something that is important is regarding auditing, and maybe because you work in finance, you told me. One of them, remember when we were in school and we had an exam, and what we had to do is give it to our friend on the side? If it's our friend, then he will give you good grades on the exam. If it's not your friend, he will do whatever evaluation it is. With auditing in financial services is the same. So my recommendation, this is a little bit more technical, is whenever you're looking for auditing solutions for banking, try someone that is a foreigner. Foreigner auditing works better on financial services than your friend or a local authority. And this can be a little bit challenging, but even in the United Kingdom, where I am based, our audit is being done by non-British people. And it works better, because the last thing you want is to have some sort of digital money for paying your nails, and it's a corrupt system, that the money doesn't come to the beauty person, that the money doesn't come to the coffee shop, because your friend is the one doing the audit. So let's try always to have some sort of international overview on your accounts. If you go outside, you're going to have a mix of that. Apple Pay is over there, and Apple Pay, I'm sure, is very excited because you can pay things here, and you also have Zwama Pays, and you have a lot of these solutions. But one of the things that I was saying, okay, traditionally in Fintech, besides of managing my money through my phone, is I want to have access to pay. Let's say we go for dinner, and we want to share the meal, and I don't want to give it in cash. So an opportunity is always on the types of sharing payments. There is an opportunity there, but make sure that maybe the meal is cheaper if you share the money, the bill with your friends, than if you're paying directly on cash, right? It's challenging, but it can be done. Digital accounts. When I say digital accounts, is checking, savings, deposit, and all these ones. But what you don't want to do is having to go to the bank and having to submit all the papers and having to give your IDs and everything. So a solution is what is called digital identity, is that you try to make it easy for people to open financial services. Your phone already checks who you are, right? Because when you have to unlock your phone, they're checking that you are you and you have a code, right? So let's try to connect those verification systems onto your own money that is going to be on your phone. Let's try not to have double or triple. I don't want to go to the bank and take a photo of me and saying, yes, this is me, this is my bank account. The phone has already my information. If I can streamline a connection between the verification of my identity of my phone through the verification of identity of my money, it's going to be the same place. So there is definitely opportunity there for do so. Also, whenever it's Forex, in growing economies, you're always going to have stronger currencies than yours. And sometimes you want to say, what if I were saving in dollars or in euros instead of saving in dirhams? But there is not really an easy way to do it. You have to go to the exchange and then keep your dollars underneath of your mattress, and it's a little bit unsafe just to have the cash there. But there should be an opportunity where in your phone, you can have easy transactions at very low cost between your own currency and international currencies where you feel a little bit safer, that you think your money is going to have a very close value. The last one is going to be for micropayments. And micropayments are, let's say that you want to buy something today and you want to split it into 10 payments. That already exists. Actually, I think there is a startup here, there is a fintech that if you buy something today, you can buy it in small payments for the following ones. But how about even smaller payments? How about my nails? How about my hair? How about the coffee shop? Maybe if with my digital money, I will be able to pay my coffee a little bit today and a little bit tomorrow, and there will be a cost for that. But at least I know that my phone has the information of how much I owe to everybody. This requires security, the people, the banking, the management, the company, but everything, it requires the innovation and sound internet. If there is not a strong security, I think someone works in cybersecurity. If there is not a strong cybersecurity program and regulation in place, then these things can be just an imagination. So I think there is really important for people here to even work or develop cybersecurity algorithms to protect the identity of the people and to avoid identities being stolen. Okay. So specifically for, let's say that you want to create your own company, okay? Like you woke up one day and say, I want to be a banker, but banker maybe is too much, so I want to just have a fintech. One of the main solutions that I was thinking is, it has to be something that is easily to create, the technology that exists already, and you don't have to make it. So let's say you want to create a bank for women, okay? Or financial payments only for women only, right? Then you will need some sort of card issuer that they are the ones that are going to help you, and you don't want to go to a small company. You might want to stay with the big ones. American Express, MasterCard, Maestro, Visa, blah, blah, blah. One of the good things that they will give you a package already of what are you looking for. They're called SDKs. And the SDKs basically will allow you to implement any solution into your own technology. So it's easier if you, instead of saying, I want to create something, go to the big companies and ask them, what can you give me that I can use almost for free? Because at the end, what they want for them is for them to use the card. So there's a lot of technologies that are going to be given for free. Now, the second thing are the regulation. Here in Iraq, you have the Securities Commission. I think the Securities Commissions and the Ministry of Finance are the one doing the approval of what financial companies can actually exist. I think lately they have given to 20 companies or something like that just the pre-approval, and here in March, I think is when you have the very first approval for fintechs that companies can apply to be regulated. So the second thing that you do is that you call the Commission of Securities and you say, what programs do you have that I can attach to that don't require a lot of capital of investment. And they will be the ones to tell you, look, you can apply to these ones. Now, what if you don't want to do it directly with them? You go to a bank that is already regulated, and you tell them, you have the regulation already, and the approval from the Securities Commission. How can I work directly with one of your current technologies, and I just implement the ones that maybe Visa or MasterCard or American Express are bringing together? Now, anybody can do it. They just have to call the phones. The third one is your solution has to be appropriate, and it has to be something that it's connecting to the people. So one of the statistics that I quite like about Kurdistan is that people have kids. The average amount of that women have kids, like I think is 3 kids per family. That's not traditionally in the world. In the world, people have like 1 or 1.2 kids on average. So that means the economy for kids is quite strong. Let's say that you have already the solution from MasterCard, the pre-regulation through a bank that is already approved by the Securities Commission, but it's a product for kids, because you know people are using technology for kids. And in this way, you have your own solution for helping kids to save, to pay for university, right? It's not directly regulated because it's doing it through a bank. You have the technology for a kid that maybe is through an app that they can use from 14 to 18, and they can put the money through their parents' account or through their own little savings. And things like that is going to help them to be easier. Now, another one is, I think, security of supply, so investment of electricity or oil and gas or solar panels. If you can create some sort of financial technologies that can help directly the energy sector, will definitely have an impact. And the last one is, I believe in the power of the people, because cash is a good option. And cooperatives, the act of cooperatives is when the people are their own owners of a company. And when you have fintechs in cooperative ways, there is definitely an impact, because people are going to try to promote their own solution better if you are your own owner of that specific solution. So I think cooperatives and a solution between cooperatives and private banking will enhance what is the current financial regulation, the financial technology that you have at the moment. Okay, the last one I wanted to give is more like a message. Yes. So we have more cash saved in our homes, and cash can be put for work. But make sure to never lose the power over the control of your cash. And that's why I think the phone and the technologies, and especially technologies that go behind that can be related to trading or to securities as well, or to brokering, will definitely enhance the value of cash in growing economies. And the last message is, don't forget the ESG, especially the environmental part. Because we have nothing if we have no planet, of course, and you have 4 seasons. So you do have a change in all the seasons, which is unusual for this part of the world, and seasons are going to become stronger. So if your financial technology innovation is going to address something that is going to impact the environment in your current area, maybe better water systems, better trees, better parks, better air quality, it's going to have a direct impact on the people. So if you're going to do an innovation, try to look into the ESG sector as well. Anyway, this is me for now. If you have any questions, just let me know, and thank you very much. No questions? Yes?
Thank you so much. I do appreciate what you have done. As a startup, we get funded and we have clients globally from US, from UK and places. We receive money from everywhere. So I would love to use your bank account, the way you are working your credit card for my freelancers. I have over 200 freelancers all over Iraq and we are expanding to 1,200 soon because we do a partnership in Baghdad. Uh, we are connecting the clients to the local talents. How efficient it will be for us to use the Visa card to receive money for our local people, because we always have the gap. When we receive money, it takes 3 months sometimes, or we never get it. Sometimes, like TBI is good, we use it, but we need a faster way, and we would love to support the environment, as you said. How can you base it in Erbil? How can you support the Iraqi people to use it? What is the best way?
So, for example, the I cannot overpromise that every single person is going to have a bank account tomorrow, because that's impossible, right? A really good solution for this are prepaid cards, because prepaid cards do not require for you to open any account, and the prepaid card can be a virtual card, right? And that can be automatically put into your phone, and the prepaid card, this gives you access to any cash. So one of the solutions that is immediate, it can be like that. One of the disadvantages of the prepaid cards is that if you lose the card or you lose your code, that's it. Or if you gave the card to someone, they can use it. So it has certain risks associated to it, but an immediate, feasible solution, that can be one. Or if they already have a bank account, well, that's of course, because you can connect with the bank. But let's be real, people don't have them. So it has to be a solution that can be liquid, that can be easily translated into cash, because that's what people are worried about. We can actually have a chat later for sure. Congratulations as well. Yes? Another question here at the back.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I'm Cardo, Financial Inclusion Manager from the NAS Wallet. So I have just some extra points on your presentation. Regarding the fintech, fintech is very, very new for the Iraq, and hopefully we get all the services of the fintech in all the sections that we have. But I'm sure if you read the rule and regulation of the Iraqs for the financial services that provided by the Central Bank of Iraq, you'll have a lot of things. There's a lot of challenge regarding the fintech and any kind of the financial inclusion. Regarding the trust, I don't think we have an issue with the trust, but we have an issue with the culture of payment. So still in here, people leaving the cash and they are trying to save the cash in home. They are not taking to the bank or for any other kind of the financial service providers. And also regarding the insight that you have of the banks, the last research that we have for the financial services in Iraq, we have 76 banks of Iraq, and 49 of these banks, we have it in the Kurdistan. We have more than 12 financial service provider. We have a 4 to 5 fintech company. So regarding the knowledge and the service of the fintech, we have, believe me, I think I can say we have all the fintech services that you have it in the UK, we have it in the Iraq. But people doesn't start to work on it, doesn't start to use it. For example, this talking about the receiving the fund or salary. So easily you can use the digital wallet. So it's much better than using the payment card, because I'm sure that the ATM number that we have in Iraq is very low, and you doesn't have it in the rural area. This is one of the benefit of the fintech. So easily you can use the digital wallet. For example, the NAS. I'm not here to talking about the NAS wallet and making marketing, but for example, NAS wallet, as a NAS wallet, we have more than 3,000 agents and branches inside the Iraq. even in the rural area, we have it. And one other benefit of the fintech, which is most important benefit, the fintech is supporting the financial inclusion very, very much. And for the Iraq, or especially Kurdistan, is the best option that you have it, because as a student and the woman or anyone who doesn't have a work or is not employed, so you cannot get the financial service as a rule and regulation of the central bank of Iraq. So you cannot get the bank if you doesn't have a support of the certification of employment. But the financial service, the digital banks and the fintech companies, the digital wallets, they can easily, you said we cannot tomorrow have all of us, we have a bank account, but easily after 10 minutes we can open, or any other companies, not only NAS Wallet, which is fintech, they can open in the 5 minutes like a million bank account at the same time. So this is all the benefit of the fintech. So for the students who doesn't have a employee certification, they can easily get the financial service through the fintech, because it doesn't need a lot of documentation. Regarding the under 18, like no one in Iraq can get the financial service if they are under the 18. It's a rule and regulation of the central bank. And the good thing I can say, the Kurdistan KRG government, so they started to dispersing the salary through the payment card, which is the name of my account. So they have a vision and they have a goal to receive, like to send or disperse the salary for 1 million people at the end of this year, which is very good steps actually. And previously, sorry, I'm talking a lot, but I'm just giving the extra information.
No, please.
Regarding the fintech. So the fintech in here, or the culture of payment in here is totally different than the other states. As an NAS wallet, we are principal member of Visa, so we are issuer, acquirer, and payment processor for the Visa. So I remember like 2 or 3 years ago, we are going to all the restaurants and all the kind of merchants. We are telling them, hey, we are giving you the POS for free. We doesn't need any fee for any transaction. Just try to accept the payment card, okay? But as I mentioned it previously, we have a gap in the culture, and we are trying to raising the awareness of the financial inclusion. And I think the private sector and the government, we are on the same line. And thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's important to have the insight on the regulation. I think the amount of fintech, actually the ones that exist, I'm sure the numbers are going to be much more, right? The problem is which ones are going to be the ones regulated and which ones that they don't even need to do so. And people can even transfer money through SMS. You know, like sending SMS messages, but people don't want to use it for X or Y reason. And I think the trust is that you trust more in cash than in a bank. So I think the name has to change from banking to trusting, because it's not only cultural. The cultural is that there is a fear that they're going to take the money away from you. And if you put money in the bank, it's going to go away. So there should be like a guarantee system, even from a government perspective, that regardless amount of money that you put, you're always going to have it there, and the money is not going to go down. And that is driven through policy, right? It exists in other parts of the world where you do have a guarantor and a guarantee system that protects, regardless of what happens, that the money of the person is going to be there and you're not going to lose the money. And it builds trust at the end on that. So, yeah, thank you so very much. Thank you for the insight. Okay, one last question. Yes? Here in the back?
Hello, and thank you for this presentation. My question is, it concerns the environmental aspect of this. Let's say that we do implement this system and where people pay and we can plant trees so that it helps the environment. But is it feasible in our society where it's a growing society that is getting extremely more consumerist, where everyday new shops are opening up? Is this a feasible approach to like fixing climate change or just improving the condition here?
Yes, I see the irony of like if you spend more, you're gonna save more the environment. But for sure, there has to be different pathways to help the environment. At the moment, you're paying and not helping. So definitely there is going to be a gap where things aren't helped. And maybe the solution for Iraq are not trees. Maybe from Kurdistan you have a lot of lakes. So the solution is to protect the lakes, right? Rather than protecting the trees. So you have to tailor to your solutions that is actually going to make an impact in your current society rather than just like, let's protect the seagulls of United Kingdom. You know, so it has to be tailored. The lakes here are beautiful, and I think your rivers, they require a lot of maintenance. So if you're able to create some sort of financial solution that protects the rivers or things associated to river, the biodiversity of the rivers and the lakes is tailored for here. But at least you're doing it, because at the moment you're not. So whatever thing you're using, and even if the economy is going to continue growing with or without you. So if there is going to be a little bit of mental thought into the environment, I think it's definitely worth it. Yeah. Thanks. Okay, let's finish here. Thank you so much for coming. I'm really happy to be here. And an applause for you. Thanks.